Hi, I'm Jason Sterling. This is an RM Cascadian travel vlog, and today we're going to talk about excursions on the Carnival Vista. Okay, this is about the excursions my son and I took off the Carnival Vista during our last trip aboard her. But I'm also going to touch on a little bit excursions from the past, so you'll have maybe a better feel of excursions beyond just this one trip. Now, on the Carnival Vista, on this trip, we went to Cozumel, Honduras, and Belize, right? Western Caribbean route. In Cozumel, we did something a little different, but the first thing I'm going to touch on is our first trip to Cozumel, my son and I, came about because one day when he was real little, like 4 or 5, he comes and tells me, hey, I want to go climb the pyramids, right? And I'm like, well, okay, maybe someday. I haven't been to Egypt yet, but maybe someday. I'm not planning on going anytime soon. But maybe someday, maybe we'll go to Egypt and we'll climb the pyramids. That's what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I tell him. Later, at some other point, he sees pictures from when I was either at Chichen Itza or Tulum. And he says, oh, there's the pyramids I want to climb, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, no, that's easy. We'll certainly see to that. So I book a cruise, and that is actually one of the primary things I booked it for. And we went on the excursion where you go to the Coba Mayan site on the mainland. It takes your entire time in port in Cozumel, but it is an excellent excursion. It has not been fully excavated, and that's a great thing because unlike Tulum or Chichen Itza, they haven't mowed everything flat. There's still a lot of the jungle, so it's a lot cooler to walk around, a lot more shade, and they'll still let you actually climb that pyramid. And the pyramid at Coba is in fact the tallest pyramid on the Yucatan Peninsula. So you get a great view. And just being able to climb it is nice. Tulum, you haven't been able to climb the pyramids there for a very long time. And Chichen Itza as well. As I understand it, you also can't climb those any longer either. Okay, so Coba you still can. It's a big site. But there were like rickshaw drivers there, like the bicyclists. So you could load up and they would take you back. And that was, I don't know if they're always there. I don't know if it was part of like the tour. All you had to do is tip. There was no cost. So tip them, tip your bicyclist. And it was worth it. Oh my God. Because even though there was shade, it was still humid. And so, yeah, I was starting to sweat a little bit, even just standing. I was starting to sweat a little bit. So that was great. I do recommend Coba. Now, in this case, on this trip at Cozumel, my son really didn't want to do any more Mayan runs, right? We did it. I love them. I'll go to all of them. He'd done it. He was done with it. We're not snorkelers, we're not into snorkeling, which is a great thing for Cozumel. And I'm not taking my son to Carlos and Charlie's. Not yet. Or Senior Frogs. Either one of them. Yeah, we're not going there yet. He's still got a long ways. And I know you only have to be 18 to drink in Mexico. I still feel like I would be a bad parent taking 18 to those places. So we'll see. But what we did in Cozumel, since we really didn't want to take any excursions, we played Pokemon Go. Now, you'll have to check your individual phone plan. I'm with AT&T, and I am through a business account because I have a small business. So I don't know what the rules are with a personal account. I do know with the small business account, it includes my full plan in both Canada and Mexico. So we could easily play Pokemon Go there and not get hit with a data charge or something like that. Now, sometimes if your plan doesn't include it, your personal plan, you can add it for like $5 or something cheap like that, or like $2 a day, or I don't know the exact amount. Maybe it's $5 a day. It's been a while since I've had to do that, but look into it. If you and your kids, or if your kids aren't interested in anything and you really just kind of want to shop, maybe get something to eat, while you're shopping, they can do Pokemon Go. They're going to be thoroughly entertained. Now, I love Pokemon Go. Let me just say, I love Pokemon Go. My son and I had a great time. There's a restaurant I do really like in Cozumel. Now, it's silly. It's just a little Tex-Mex place, but it's right on the beach. Got a great view of the water, great view of the boats. It used to be called Taco and Waffles. I don't know why. I think because they serve breakfast, right? It's not like a taco on a waffle, like chicken and waffles. It's not like that. I guess you could make that. You could order a taco and a waffle and throw it on there and pour syrup on it. I wouldn't. But anyway, let me get back to that. It's a great place. I love it. There's some pictures here, as you can see. I always put pictures kind of flowing along beside me, under me, wherever. And so we went there, and we had a nice lunch, nice Tex-Mex lunch. So, pretty much very American style. And then we went back to the ship. It's the ship park's kind of far out now, at the cruise line built areas. But the cab ride is like super cheap, kind of almost like an Uber price, like $5 or $7 or something like that. Huge amount of cabs right there at the port. Very quick to get one. And then coming back, we were able just to hail a cab. I'm urban school. Any city I go to, you're pretty much going to see me if I'm trying to get a cab. I did use Uber in Fort Worth, but if I'm in Chicago or DC or New York, wherever, I'm just going to hail a cab like this. And I did that in Mexico and it worked. So it works there too, or in Cozumel. They pulled around, got me. And they were on the other side of the street, did a U-turn, came back, got me, took me to the ship. So I love that. That was a lot of fun. Now, our next stop was Honduras. Okay, so in Honduras, now this is, I think, cruise ship built, but I'm going to just say, right next to the ship is a shopping plaza. And then right next to that is kind of a beach area. And it's a really nice little beach. The water's beautiful. The beach is beautiful. There's a restaurant bar there, again, with kind of American-style Tex-Mex type offerings. A little bit of shopping. You can rent some stuff. There's a sky lift that goes back and forth from the shopping plaza to the beach area, but it's walkable. I took the sky lift as a novelty, and for the view, my son wanted to ride it. But you can totally walk it. It's a nice walk. So that's the first thing I want to say, is that is right there by the ship, and it's free. Okay, the sky lift costs. The restaurant there costs. But just to go to the beach, that's free, right? The first time we went to Honduras, this would be in the past. Now, we took an excursion off the ship. That was basically a beach excursion, and it took us to a beach kind of on the other side of the island. The beach was beautiful. The area around it was beautiful. They also had a bar and a place you could get some food. Water was gorgeous. The only drawback was it was a public beach, like a national park beach or something like that. Since it was a public beach, anybody could use it. And the only drawback there, as I'm sure you know is coming, there was a ton of panhandlers. A ton. And I mean a ton. And I don't mean panhandlers. I shouldn't say that. There were a ton, because they weren't just soliciting money, like give me money. There were a ton of people selling stuff, okay? That doesn't bother me under normal circumstances, but it's never normal in the Caribbean. And they could be pretty aggressive. I actually saw a guy follow a woman out into the water. And I know what you're thinking. Really? Yeah, really. Yes, really. She's trying to escape him. She's going to go out in the water. I'm like, swim, girl, swim. Take off. He follows her out into the water. But even worse than that, because that was relatively minor, there wasn't a lot of aggressiveness like that. But worse than that was it was a constant stream. They would just walk back and forth across the beach, right? In a constant stream, like you never really had a clear view of the water and the beach. And it was hard to hang out on the beach because they're constantly walking. So I wouldn't say that I had a horrible time or I wanted my money back or anything like that. My son and I did still have a good time. And it was his first trip to a beach ever. You know, we'd never been to a beach before. Even though we'd been on cruises before, we'd not gone to the beach. And we built a sand castle and we tried to save it from the waves coming in, and we had a fantastic time. We really did. I wouldn't go back. Let me throw that in. I wouldn't go back. I would not go back to that particular beach. Now, the next time we went, my son really wanted to do some zip lining. And there's actually a great zip line excursion. I should have looked up the names. If I think about it, maybe I'll link the names in the description, but you'll recognize it when you're looking on Carnival's site. There's a zip line that the zip line ends on the beach next to the ship. Okay, so you do go out into the jungle and you go way up. You know, you go up quite a bit and you zip line, you know, through the jungle, and your last zip line carries you to a tower at the beach by the ship, right? So you land on that beach by the ship, and here's the thing, that's a private beach, so there is none of the salesmen going on. There are some people that braid hair and stuff, but they're set back at like regular tables as part of the kind of shopping area. Out there on the beach, there's just other guests. That's what really makes that nice. I personally too I kind of like to see the ship in the water. You know, I kind of like that view. And on the other side, you had a view out towards mainland Honduras. So it was really nice. So we did that and we zip lined down to the beach, and then we just spent the rest of the time, you know, there at that beach, had some lunch, had some drinks, had some beer, and then we took the Skyway back to the ship. So that's what I recommend there. I really do recommend that. It's a zip lining excursion. You meet right there at the shopping plaza. You board your pickup trucks, I think they were, sit in the back, and you head on up the rise. And then by the time you get back via zip line, you're on the beach. That's what we did there. I loved it. I'm going to do it next time, coming up New Year's Eve this year. When we're back there, we're going to do it again. My son really, really enjoyed it as well. And if you want to do some shopping, like I said, there's a little shopping plaza there. It's definitely cruise line owned. It's going to be the same stuff. It's going to be the same shirt and the same plate and the same everything you bought in Cozumel, but it has Honduras stamped on it. So if you want to collect, you know, that sort of stuff, it's there. I think there's some sunglasses and stuff too. Now, for Belize, which is actually Belize, one of my favorite ports to call. Okay, so the only drawback to Belize really is that you have to tender in. Yeah, you do. Now, I swear to God, I swear this, that the first time I went to Belize was on the Carnival Elation. And it was a long time ago, okay, almost 2 decades ago. I swear there was a dock. I swear it. I swear that the Elation docked in Belize. And I went and saw some Mayan ruin sites there. I went and saw Altun Ha. I remember for sure there was another one. That's the name I remember, though, was that one. Great site to go see. At the time, you could still climb everything. I bet you still can. And it was a really nice site. The excursion I took that time included lunch, which was really good. Some jerk chicken, some beer. It was fantastic. And then kind of a little river cruise back kind of to Belize City, right? Excellent. So you find an excursion like that, definitely do it. I've loved everything I've done in Belize. Another time in Belize, I did the Foodie tour of Belize. Excellent. Loved it. Loved it. Great way to see the city. Try some different food. Went to a coffee shop. Went to a restaurant. We made ceviche. I'm not pronouncing that right. We made that. Ate on a beautiful outdoor, restaurant area overlooking the water. Fantastic. Loved it. Now, this time in Belize with my son, on this Vista trip, we did zip lining. He loves zip lining. We did zip lining and the cave tubing adventure, and it also included lunch. Excellent! Oh my God, it was so good. I really am going to have to look that one up because I was really impressed. The facilities were top notch. The zip lining was great, and then we actually zip lined through some caves. Okay, so it's that one where you don't just tube through the caves, you zip line through a couple of caves as well, and one of them's like pitch black. It's fantastic. We really enjoyed it. The cave tubing was great. Don't worry about it. We went like in the very first week of March, and the water wasn't that bad. I was really worried it's gonna be freezing cold, right? Oh my God. Nope, not bad. It's Belize. That it really never gets cold there. So, and then the facilities for the lunch, brand new, beautiful facilities. Great bathrooms. Beautiful location, right? Really, really pretty area. And the lunch was good. So I highly recommend that. We did that in Belize. So much fun. But I recommend actually the Foodie tour. I loved. I don't think they're offering it right now, probably because of COVID, but as of this recording, but if you see it, it was great. Oh, it was great. And their Mayan sites in Belize are also really, really nice. Belize has a lot of nice people in it. It's a nice country. Great thing about Belize, if you're ever worried about this, Belize was an English colony until 1980. Everything's in English. Everyone speaks English. So you're good to go if you're an American and don't even realize there are other languages in the world. You're good to go. They're going to speak English. And it sounds like American English. So there you go. And that was it for excursions off the Vista. Now, at least as far as that trip goes. Now, in previous trips, I'll throw this in real quick. Yes, I've done Grand Cayman with the Stingrays. That is probably one of my favorite excursions ever. My very first cruise, that was one of the primary things I went on the cruise for, was to go swim with the Stingrays out in the ocean and to see Tulum. That was the other thing. Tulum's also an excellent tour. As is Chichen Itza. They all are. But the Stingrays were a lot of fun. We did that. I did that with my son, and it included the turtle farm. That was fun too. We really enjoyed that. Did some snorkeling in the turtle pond or something. It was really cool. So that was awesome. And then also in Jamaica, I've done a private beach there, like Doctor's Cove Beach is a nice place to go. It's a private beach. It's really nice. I've also done zip lining there. The zip lining is excellent everywhere, I guess. The jungle just adds something to it. Just increases its value added, And the people are usually really nice on tour in Jamaica. So I did that. I did a glass bottom or a semi-submersible type boat to look at the reefs and stuff in Jamaica a while ago. That was okay. That was okay. I mean, yeah, it was okay. It was really funny because in order for us to really be sure and see fish, they had a diver come by with like raw meat. So the fish would chase it, so he's swimming with this raw meat past the window so that the fish would chase after it. And you would get to see the fish. Chalk it up to participation. They tried. I probably wouldn't do it again. And that's it really for excursions, in the Western Caribbean that I've done. In Cozumel, if you don't want to see Mayan ruins, I would just go get something to eat. Find a local restaurant and just kind of hang out, In Honduras, I would do the beach next to the ship. If you don't want to do an excursion, do that beach next to the ship. It's excellent. And in Belize, oh boy, it's tough. If you don't want to do an excursion, I mean, there's some great restaurants in Belize City, but tendering all the way over, the shopping on the dock is like shopping everywhere else. And tendering all the way over, it's tough to say. And I've never taken cabs in Belize. I assume it's fine. Okay, I'm going to say that right off the bat. I'm sure it's fine in Belize City to grab a cab. But I would go to the restaurant I went to. If I can find the address, I might put that in comments. I would go to that restaurant that was on the Foodie tour again. It was right on the water. It was gorgeous. I might get off, tender over, grab a cab, and go eat lunch. Something like that. In this day and age, now that I've done the excursions. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this. Next time, I'm going to talk about entertainment on the ship. Entertainment on the ship and what you can do on the ship on the Vista. There's a lot to do on the Vista. In the meantime, hit subscribe, notify, and like. Please hit subscribe, like, and notify. And I look forward to seeing you then. And thanks for watching.